So government watchdogs are accusing the feds of wasting taxpayer money on this one in the name of scientific research. Here's an example for you. The National Institutes of Health spent $3.2 million to get monkeys drunk. They must like top shelf liquor, those monkeys, in order to learn the long-term effects of alcohol on their body tissue. Tucker Carlson, who's also in that camp in some ways, I suppose, is the editor of the Daily Caller and co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. Tucker, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Martha.
Yeah, I mean,
morning.
You can't make this stuff up. I mean, tell us what's going on here.
Well, this is the city I live in. This is what the federal government does. It wastes money almost by definition. Even when it's attempting to do something good, there's just a lot of waste at the margins because nobody ever gets fired for wasting money, ever. In fact, people are rewarded. The more money you spend in an agency, the more your budget is for the next year. So there's no incentive at all not to waste money. I would say, however, of all the things the government does, all the pernicious things, this is on the low end of the scale. I mean, at least they're not telling you what to do. And by the way, monkeys love it. I mean, this is huge in the simian community. The idea that you can get free booze from Uncle Sam. No, here's honestly is the downside of studies like this. I think a lot of important medical research is funded by the federal government. Some of it is key. It's extended our lives. Probably worth doing. This makes people cynical, I think, about scientific research. When you read studies about how animals, dogs, for example, are tortured pointlessly. I mean, obviously we need animals as a component in research, but there are a lot of these studies that exist just because the funding is there, and the net result is frivolous, wasteful, or cruel. And I think they do a disservice to the rest of science because, again, they make people cynical.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because, you know, I mean, obviously everybody wants the NIH to find a cure for cancer, to find a cure for Alzheimer's, to find cures for heart disease, and they have done tremendous work. But if you've got the budget, there's the need to continue to spend the budget so that the money doesn't get taken away. And when you look at some of these studies, one of them was done for a 2-year period, $154,000, where they gave college kids alcohol and then had them gamble to see if they could discern if when they were drunk they lost more money. I mean, seriously, that's a fact. Unbelievable.
You know, the funny thing is that my cell phone is pretty widely available. They could have just called me. Or anybody else who went to college and took a road trip to Vegas. I mean, it's like, it might be useful to have some sort of informal rule at NIH that you shouldn't do studies on things to which you already know the answer.
Yeah, the drunk monkeys are having a great time, but the taxpayer not so much when they're taking a look at these numbers. I'm sure they could find better things to do with this money, perhaps go to Vegas themselves and do some offline research, shall we say. Tucker, thank you so much. We will see you this weekend on Fox and Friends.
Thanks, Martha.
See you then.
They didn't say if they're good on Chivas or light beer.
I'm thinking Chivas with those prices.
Exactly.